Hello, my friends, and welcome into another edition of the JMac Snack. I want to take a minute and update you on what's going on with DACA. These are the dreamers, the kids who were brought here by their parents when they were young, and now they find themselves in a country that doesn't want them and doesn't want to give them legal rights, or at least some people don't. And so now they're kind of stuck. They don't have a place to go back to, and they don't have a place here. Well, we thought that there might be some changes in the application of laws and how this plays out. And a recent ruling from a judge has absolutely changed things immediately for those DACA recipients. Here's that ruling.
A federal judge ordered the Trump administration Friday to fully restore Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA. The program will now be open to new applicants for the first time since 2017.
Now, that from CBS. The judge is making it, basically reversing a decision made by President Trump, and I think a decision that was long time coming. Although I am frustrated that this has been going from executive orders and then to the courts. One of my biggest messages when I was running for Congress is that running a country via executive order is the worst possible way to run a country, especially a country like ours, where laws are supposed to be passed by the legislature, not by the executive. Only in certain circumstances should the executive be able to make executive orders, and that's in their purview directly below them. And the problem you get into when you have an executive making laws, such as this DACA situation, the very next president can come in and change it. And we know that that's what has happened. So this was put in by President Obama, and then President Trump reversed it. Now a judge has reversed it. And I'm pretty sure that President-elect Biden, when he gets in, he was planning on reversing it anyway. So this yo-yo back and forth situation created by executive order is precisely why you want the legislative branch to handle things. It solidifies them, makes them harder to change, gives people stability. Like right now, do you think the people in Bears Ears have stability? No, many of them are now asking Joe Biden to reverse President Trump's reversal of President Obama. That's just the worst way to go about things. But what I did want to do in this JMac Snack is, if you didn't know, I wanted to give you a little bit of the history of DACA, where we're at, how did we get here, and what do I think of this whole dreamer situation. So first of all, here, this is from Vox. They did a very good quick description of what is DACA and who qualifies.
If you'd come to the U.S. when you were under 16, if you were either in high school or had a high school diploma, and if you had either no criminal record or like a teeny tiny misdemeanor,
then you could apply for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program. Basically, a permit that protects you from getting deported and allows you to work legally in the U.S.
Now, this was put in 2012 via executive order by President Obama.
Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people.
Now, President Trump, when he was running, he said he was going to do something about it, but then he got into office and 8 months went by and he didn't do anything. And so the states got frustrated with him. And the states got together and they started getting ready to file their own lawsuit. And finally, and I say not all states, but states who are in favor, states that are against the DACA program. So President Trump decided to take matters into his own hands. And in 2017, with the help of Jeff Sessions, this was him rescinding the DACA application process.
I'm here today to announce that the program known as DACA that was effectuated under the Obama administration is being rescinded.
So that's when it was rescinded. And then last Friday, a judge has ruled that those applicants can continue. The judge said that they are vacating the memo from the acting Homeland Security Secretary that had suspended it. The judge said that the government had to post a public notice within 3 days, and they did not do that. So basically, this sounds procedural, that they didn't have the authority in the first place to reverse it. That means they probably could go back and do it right if they had time to do so, but they don't. President-elect Biden is going to be sworn in before they're able to do that, unless they put in a last-ditch effort. And who knows? Maybe they will try and do something and try and hamstring. There you go. I'm not going to edit it out. It's just who I am. And it's late at night when I'm recording this, so my mouth isn't working as well as perhaps it should. Now, as I said, DACA should have been handled by Congress in the first place. And if you know me, you know that I have been a strong proponent for allowing these kids to stay and to work, as long as they do not commit crimes, they check in on a regular basis, they get an education or a job, and they don't become reliant on welfare or any of those programs. I don't believe that it is right to hold these kids accountable for a choice they didn't make. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, that just rewards the parents. Look, there are times and places where you can't have a perfect solution. And for me, if your solution punishes innocent children, then you need to find a different solution. And for me, sometimes that means that parents, adults, are going to be incentivized to do something, but we don't punish kids. And the truth is that these kids have been participating in our society. They've been raised in our education system. They want to go to college. These are not, as Trump might have you believe, murderers or rapists or anything like that. And the DACA program, according to the DACA recipients, has helped.
A survey of DACA recipients found nearly 70% got a job with better pay. More than 60% opened their first bank account. Nearly 65% bought their first car, and a similar share say that they've pursued educational opportunities they previously couldn't.
So this allows them to be better contributors to our society. The opposite of that is they're still here, they can't get jobs legally, they're going to work under the table, they're going to be abused, they can't move forward. Let's make them contributing members of this society. To me, that is the right thing to do in this case. If you disagree, put it in the comments and let me know how you feel or what potentially I am missing. With that, please take a minute and become a patron of this podcast. $5 a month will do wonders and help me bring these snacks to you every single day, and also our live broadcast. Click on the link in the description to wherever you are viewing this video or listening to this podcast and become a patron, $5 a month or more, or make a one-time donation. Either one really helps me out. With that, more snacks on the way, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.